Welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch. I'm Michelle Martin. The price of uranium really popping in 2023, and we've seen that momentum continue in the first month of 2024. The outlook for uranium looks great right now, with supply constrained and demand growing. How promising does 2024 look, though, to uranium miners? Well, we're going to find out today with Purepoint Uranium Group, which has an exploration pipeline of 9 advanced projects in Canada's Athabasca Basin. That's a region very well known for rich deposits of high-grade uranium. It also has 2 joint projects and owns 7 projects with proven uranium-rich targets. We're talking about the company's operations, their strategies, and prospects for 2024 with Chris Frostad, who is president and CEO of Purepoint Uranium Group. Thanks for being here, Chris.
Thank you, Michelle.
There are expectations that 2024 could see uranium's third bull market based on expectations of the need to diversify from Russian supply and the ESG-driven race to decarbonize power. What do you think? Will uranium extend its bull run in 2024?
Well, absolutely. I think we've just seen the beginning of it. Last year was interesting in that for most of the year, we did see the spot price of uranium rising to some degree, and then at the end of the year, as you mentioned, it really did pop. What was odd though was that we saw most of the uranium equities continuing to drift down during that time, which was a head scratcher for a lot of us. And I think what it turned out to be at the end of the day was the fact that the long-term price of uranium still hasn't reached what it needs to start turning on new mines. The spot price of uranium that we watch only represents about 10 to 15% of the uranium being traded on a regular basis, and it's the most transparent sort of price we can see. The rest of it is all done on long-term contracts. We don't necessarily get to see what all those numbers look like. So as the price was drifting up last year, we didn't see the same sort of joy in the equities. And to your point, I think this year that's changed a bit. It's changed a lot. What we've seen in the last few weeks was a real pop in the spot price. It jumped over $100. I think it's at about 106 right now. But it was more about the cause of what made it make that jump. And that was the fact that Kazakhstan, which provides about 40% of the world's uranium right now, announced that they were going to miss their 2024 targets for production, and most likely were going to miss their 2025 targets for production. So we're looking at more longer term issues here that made that spot price jump, and well, undoubtedly we're going to see the long-term price moving as well. So I think that's why we saw a lot of movement, including at Purepoint. The share prices all jumped dramatically on that news. And I think it was more a fact of the news jumping than it was necessarily the spot price jumping. But we're going to see, I think now we're really into it now. We've hit that tipping point, and we're going to see a lot more activity on the equity side of the markets.
What does this mean for the pace of mining production over at Purepoint?
Well, it means that there's a lot more capital available for work. I mean, we're in the business of finding these deposits, and there's a lot more money. It's all about a matter of money. If there's funding to do that exploration, the more money that's available, the higher the odds that we're going to find what we're looking for. So what it's allowed us to do is certainly get more active in all of our projects. We don't have to pick one or two. And go with that. We can actually get all of our projects ticking along at a pretty good pace, and the odds of us moving up that time of discovery is greatly enhanced. So I think we're going to see a good year ourselves in terms of our activity, our share price, and the odds of us making that big discovery we're looking for.
So Purepoint completed a $4 million private placement just last month. What will this infused liquidity enable in 2024?
Well, again, it's really set the stage for us to do a lot of work in the coming year. We've been around in the basin for a while. We kind of kept our powder dry during the lean years when uranium was at a low point, but that's really turned around now. So we are going to be drilling pretty much throughout the year on 3 projects in particular. We're setting up right now at our Hook Lake joint venture. That's with Cameco and Orano. The drills will be turning there any minute now. Shortly after that, in the spring, we're looking to be drilling at our Red Willow project. We've got a lot of work to do out there. It's a big area, and we've got a lot of high value targets to get drilling. And then in the fall, we'll be looking at our Turner Lake project, another project where we're scheduling drilling. And across all of that, while we're doing that, we also have a number of geophysical programs that are getting other projects lined up and ready to go. So it's going to be a very busy year for us, and I think a fair amount of news flow. And hopefully, people will be happy with the work we're doing and the advancements we're making.
Chris, what should potential uranium investors know about Purepoint Uranium today?
Well, today I think it's because what they should recognize is the fact that all of our projects are at that drill ready stage, and that we're advancing them at a pretty good clip. In all cases we've done preliminary drilling. We've identified highly potential areas of mineralization, and we're working hard on it. I think with regards to our Hook Lake project, we always point out the fact that most of the funding that goes into that project comes from Cameco and Orano, two of the largest producers and suppliers of uranium in the world. And for them to continue to support financially exploration projects like this, they have to believe that the potential is there. So that's always an exciting project to get back to. I think it's the experience we've got, the work we've got ahead of us, the projects we've got. I think a lot of the planets are lined up for us to create a lot of value in the coming months.
Fantastic. Can't wait to check in with you a little later in the year. Chris Frostad is President and CEO of the Purepoint Uranium Group. Great speaking with you, Chris. Thank you.
I see you, Michelle.